At least 16 people were killed as Typhoon Ursula, international name Fan Phone, barreled across the central islands of the Philippines on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Government officials report 4 died in Capiz, 9 in Iloilo, 1 in Leyte, 1 in Southern Leyte, and 1 in Biliran. Officials are still verifying other reports of fatalities. 6 people are reported missing in Western Visayas, 2 in Capiz, and 4 in Iloilo. The storm affects at least 2,300 people in the Central Visayas and Caraga regions. The report does not yet include people affected in other regions the typhoon passed: Eastern Visayas, Western Visayas, Mimaropa, Bicol, and Southern Luzon. Photos and videos posted on social media show severe flooding and destruction in different areas the typhoon hit. The storm submerged entire neighborhoods in Capiz province in Western Visayas and destroyed villages in Tacloban City in Eastern Visayas. Manila International Airport Authority reports a total of 115 domestic flights canceled. Typhoon Ursula has left the Philippine landmass and is expected to exit the Philippine Area of Responsibility Saturday morning, December 28. President Rodrigo Duterte grants a request from his daughter, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, to be exempted from the holiday ceasefire between government forces and the Communist New People's Army or NPA. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says the president welcomes the idea since there are no peace talks in place yet. The younger Duterte says the communist rebels cannot be trusted. She adds the NPA would only use the ceasefire as an opportunity to push back against the government. Duterte also challenges Communist Party of the Philippines founding chairman John Masison to return to the Philippines and speak with him.
The president is daring him to come home to the Philippines and have a one-on-one talk with the president. Even before this panel, no government panel involved, no panel on the communist side. He is asking him to come to the Philippines. There will be no enforcement of any warrant. Just come to the Philippines and talk with him.
Sison, who has been exiled in the Netherlands for nearly 3 decades, earlier refused the condition imposed by Duterte that the peace talks be held in the Philippines. Peace negotiations are usually held in third-party venues. Sison says the Duterte administration could not be trusted to keep its word that he would not be arrested if he were to come home. The ceasefire will last until January 7, 2020. The police and military reported 3 separate attacks allegedly by the New People's Army on Monday, December 23. Detained Senator Leila de Lima slams the alleged ban on visits to political prisoners in Camp Bagong Diwa in Taguig City. In a statement on Thursday, December 26, De Lima says the police should uphold the rights of prisoners and allow families to visit them. De Lima says, quote, "I condemn this blatant violation of the rights of these persons deprived of liberty." De Lima likens jailers to Ebenezer Scrooge, a Charles Dickens character who hates Christmas. Kapatid spokesperson Fides Lim was barred from visiting her husband Vicente Ladlad. A consultant for the National Democratic Front, De Lima, a fierce critic of President Rodrigo Duterte, has been in prison since February 2017 over drug charges. De Lima earlier said she hopes this is her last Christmas in detention so that she can return to, quote, "normal life as a mother, grandmother, daughter, sister, and as a duly elected senator." State think tank Philippine Institute for Development Studies, or PIDS, says government efforts should focus on fast-tracking the compensation of farmers affected by the rice tariffication law. A PIDS study projects the law will benefit consumers, but farmers will suffer losses in the long run. Consumers would benefit around 197 billion pesos every year for the first 5 years, but farmers' income growth would be flat. This is a considerable loss compared to the 2.5% projected income growth without tariffication. Production will likewise drop by 5.7% under the law. Without tariffication, production is seen to grow by 2.8%. The think tank says the government should continue implementing the rice tariffication law, but hasten the compensation for rice farmers affected by the reform. Under the law, a 10 billion peso rice fund is allocated to help local farmers. Britain's Queen Elizabeth II pays tribute to young environmental campaigners inspired to global action by Swedish teen Greta Thunberg in a Christmas Day message.
The challenges many people face today may be different to those once faced by my generation, but I have been struck by how new generations have brought a similar sense of purpose to issues such as protecting our environment and our climate.
The environmental campaign movement was stirred to life by Thunberg's first school strike for climate change in 2018. The Queen's annual message follows a chaotic year in which Britain feuded over its split from the European Union, and her scandal-plagued son, Prince Andrew, withdrew from public life. She calls 2019 quite bumpy and urges Britons to overcome long-held differences and deep-seated divisions. Britain became the first major economy this year to set the legally binding target of reducing carbon emissions to a net level of 0 by 2050.